Yo, what if I told you Emu's true face is finally revealed, and somehow Zoro might be the one who made Imu cough up blood? Yeah, this chapter is absolutely insane. Welcome to Super Synth D Studio, where One Piece spoilers hit different. If you live for wild theories and hype breakdowns, hit that like button, drop a comment, give hype, and don't forget to subscribe. Let's dive in. One Piece. Chapter 1179 is titled The Incarnation of Nerona Imu. However, there are other leakers saying the actual title might be Nerona Imu Descends. And yeah, that alone already sounds crazy. Most of this chapter focuses on Imu's arrival and his perspective on past events. Chapter 1179 begins by continuing directly from the previous chapter. The Gorosei try to stop Imu, suggesting they send an admiral to Elbaf instead, or that the five of them go together like they did at Egghead. But Imu refuses and chooses to go alone. The Gorosei genuinely try everything to stop Imu from leaving by himself. Only Garling steps in, stopping the others and saying that the Great One can do whatever he wants and should go, because no one can stop him. In the end, they accept Imu's decision to leave alone. Cut to Elbaf. Gerd discovers Sommers' heart, while Zoro comes up with the idea to destroy it. As Zoro and Gerd find Sommers and take his heart, Zoro starts wondering, would Sommers actually die if his heart gets destroyed? That question alone makes Sommers absolutely terrified and shocked. Yeah, bro is panicking. Then, Imu appears inside a magic circle in Orist Castle. But the moment Imu arrives in Elbaf, he suddenly coughs up blood, drops to his knees, and then begins transforming, surrounded by a massive explosion of Conqueror's haki. Now this is where things get really interesting. Why did Imu cough up blood the moment he arrived in Elbaf? Is this the reason why the Gorosei, except Garling, tried to stop him from leaving Mary Joie's? Is it some kind of curse or something even deeper? Because this isn't the first time we've seen Imu in pain. First, when he was affected by Joy Boy's Conqueror's haki explosion at Egghead. Second, during Harold's death. At that moment, Imu was clearly shaken, even afraid. He was heavily affected by Harold's death, and Imu himself confirmed that there's a huge price to pay when his knights are killed by someone else. Now here's the crazy part. Right before Imu appeared in Elbaf, Zoro was holding Sommers' heart, and he was literally thinking about whether an immortal god knight could die if their heart was destroyed. At that exact moment, Sommers became absolutely terrified. And if you remember the detail when Loki killed Harold, he struck Harold using Ragnir, in the heart. So now the question is, what if Zoro actually destroyed Sommers' heart? And that instantly killed him? And because one of his knights died, Imu was affected, which is why he coughed up blood the moment he arrived in Elbaf. If that's true, it actually makes perfect sense. Because the timing of Sommers' possible death matches exactly with Imu's appearance inside the Abyss Circle in Orist Castle. So, does that mean Zoro is the one who indirectly made Imu bleed? Imu then takes position at the highest tower of Orist Castle. He releases an overwhelming surge of Conqueror's haki, and nearby, houses and trees across Elbaf begin to come alive, laughing with evil faces. Yeah, that's straight up nightmare fuel. And finally, Imu's true appearance is revealed. Imu appears as a handsome man, surrounded by black clouds. He has long horns, similar to Kaido and the ancient giants, but they curve twice, forming an S shape. He doesn't wear any upper clothing, but he wears a cloak with a logo, though only half of it is visible. His skin is dark, similar to a Lunarian like King. He also has a devil-like tail, just like the one that pierced Sabo. He uses a polearm weapon. The handle has black clouds, while the blade is jagged and curved at the tip, and we can see a small stream of blood coming from the left side of his mouth. Read-on also adds more details about Imu's appearance. His skin is darker, like King, but his face doesn't exactly resemble King. The markings or tattoos on his face are very different. His hair is white, longer, and thicker, with curls similar to Luffy's Gear 5. His horns resemble Loki's more, emerging from the forehead and curving into an S shape. He has a black collar with eyes, similar to what we've seen on Luffy, Lucci, Kaku, and others in their awakened forms. In fact, it looks very similar to Enel's drum ring, except Imu's version is a ring of black clouds filled with multiple eyes. His spear is much longer, with black clouds on one end, and a much more jagged blade on the other. Introduction box. One of the 20 founders of the world government. Special ability, Devil Fruit. King of the world, Saint Nerona Imu. Now here's another interesting point. Why is Imu's power only described as Devil Fruit, without any mention of mythical Zoan or anything like that? Does this mean Imu can use all types of Devil Fruit powers? Because we've already seen him bring inanimate objects to life, which is similar to Big Mom's Soru Soru no Mi. He can even grant powers to the Gorosei, allowing them to transform into yokai. And if you noticed, when the Gorosei's yokai forms were introduced, there were no Devil Fruit names mentioned, only the names of their yokai, and now, Imu himself is simply labeled with Devil Fruit. That's it. Also, Imu's weapon seems to have a Hagoromo. Does that mean his weapon can also transform into a mythical creature? Just like Shamrock's sword that can turn into a Cerberus? If that's the case, then this becomes even crazier. Because Imu's weapon could clash directly with Loki's Ragnir, which can transform into the mythical ice squirrel Ratatoskr. But right now, luck is not on the Straw Hat Crew's side. Luffy has just run out of energy from Gear 5, leaving him in his old wrinkled form, needing a massive amount of food to recover. And Loki is also exhausted. After using his giant dragon form, both of them need food badly. And this is where the rest of the Straw Hat Crew becomes crucial. Finally, Luffy and Loki are shown together, searching for food. And Loki mentions that the ice created by Ragnir can only be melted by Ragnir itself. Otherwise, that will last forever. So now the question is, can Luffy and Loki actually defeat Imu? It seems like we might witness Luffy's first defeat against Imu in the Elbaf arc, before a rematch later in Mary Joy's. End of chapter. Break next week. So yeah, this changes everything. If Zoro really triggered the damage that made Imu bleed, then we might have just seen the first real weakness of the King of the World. And if that's true, then Elbaf isn't just another arc. It's the beginning of the end for Imu. But now I gotta ask you, do you think Zoro actually caused Imu to bleed, or is Oda setting up something even bigger? Drop your theories in the comments, I'm reading all of them. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe for more One Piece content, and turn on notifications. Because trust me, this story is about to go absolutely crazy.